Have you ever wondered how a tiny tadpole turns into a frog? The journey begins with the first step of a frog's life cycle, the egg stage. Here's what happens. A mother frog, in a remarkable feat of nature, lays hundreds of eggs all at once in a pond or river. These eggs aren't left unprotected, oh no. They're covered in a jelly-like substance that serves as a shield, keeping them safe and sound. Now imagine these tiny eggs waiting to hatch inside a cozy jelly-like home. What do you think happens next? Yes, you guessed it right. A tadpole hatches out. This happens after about 21 days from when the egg was laid. Now you might be wondering what a tadpole is. Well, it's a baby frog, but it doesn't look like a frog yet. It has a long tail and no legs. Kind of like a little fish, isn't it? But this little creature has a big job to do. It starts to eat. And what's on the menu? Algae and plants in the water? Yes, our tadpole is a vegetarian. It munches and munches, getting all the nutrients it needs to grow. This eating helps the tadpole to grow bigger and stronger, preparing it for the next big step in its life. So, the little tadpole begins its journey in the big, wide pond, eating and growing. The life of a frog is truly fascinating, isn't it? Guess what? The tadpole doesn't stay the same, it starts to change. This is the beginning of a wondrous journey called metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is like a magic spell from a fairy tale, but this is a real-life magic happening right in front of our eyes. So, what exactly is happening to our little tadpole? Well, it begins to grow legs. Yes, legs! First, it grows 2 hind legs, perfect for jumping around in the pond. Then, it grows 2 front legs, making it look more like the frog it's destined to become. All the while, its tail, once a powerful swimming tool, starts to shrink. This stage is like a costume change where the tadpole starts to shed its old look and embrace a new one. But that's not all. Another amazing transformation is happening inside its body. The tadpole starts to develop lungs. Why, you might wonder? Well, these lungs allow it to breathe air, just like we do. This is a crucial step in its transformation, preparing it for life both in and out of the water. Remember, this metamorphosis doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow dance of nature that takes several weeks to complete. Each day, the tadpole looks a little less like a fish and a little more like a frog. Day by day, bit by bit, the tadpole embraces its destiny. Isn't it incredible how the tiny tadpole is slowly but surely turning into a frog? Now the real magic happens. Our tadpole is about to become a frog. In this stage of the transformation, the tadpole's body drastically changes. The most noticeable change is the disappearance of its tail. Yes, you heard it right. The tail that helped the tadpole swim in the water slowly shrinks and vanishes, absorbed back into the body. As the tail disappears, the tadpole starts to look more and more like a frog. This young frog, often called a froglet, is almost ready to take on the world. But there's one more big change that happens. The froglet's lungs have fully developed now, allowing it to breathe air just like us. With its new lungs, the froglet can finally leave the water and start to live on land. It hops onto the shore, ready to start its life as a fully fledged frog. And there you have it. Our tadpole has finally transformed into a beautiful hopping frog. So, let's recap, shall we? The life cycle of a frog is a fascinating journey, starting with the smallest of beginnings. It all begins with an egg, laid by the mother frog in a body of water. This tiny egg, no bigger than a pinhead, holds the promise of a new life. The next stage is the tadpole. The egg hatches into a tadpole, a tiny creature that lives in water, has a long tail and breathes through gills. It's hard to believe that this little swimmer will someday hop on land. As the tadpole grows, it starts transforming into a froglet. It develops lungs to breathe air and its tail starts to shrink. Legs sprout out, preparing it for life on land. Finally, the froglet becomes an adult frog, ready to hop out of the water and start a new cycle of life. And there you have it, the amazing journey of a tiny egg to a hopping frog. Isn't nature fascinating?